If you have never heard of a cost breakdown sheet or CBD sheet, and you are not using it to determine your cost of goods sold or COGS, stay tuned today because we are going to talk about how important this could be for your business. Happy Monday. Welcome back to Money Mondays here with me. I'm Rachel Erickson, your host, is with you every single Monday to talk just a little bit about money for your fashion and apparel brand. Now, this week we're going to talk about COGS. And if you haven't heard the acronym COGS, it's not having anything to do with a watch or anything like that. It has everything to do with your cost of goods sold, COGS. Now, when we're determining our cost of goods sold in the apparel industry, there are a lot of different factors that are going to go into each and every one of your garments. And the best practice on how to actually line by line accurately calculate out the unit cost of goods for every single item that you are creating is to ask if your factory will help you by using a cost breakdown sheet. Now, a lot of companies will call these CBDs cost breakdown. And I'm going to tell you right now that some factories don't love using cost breakdown sheets because we're asking them to put a lot of transparency out into the world in a cost breakdown sheet. And so what is a cost breakdown sheet? Let's kind of boil it down here. It's a spreadsheet, usually something in Excel, or if you're using Google Sheets, that totally works too, where what you want to do is list line by line every single item and every single price or every single cost of something that is going to go into that garment. So for example, let's say you have two different fabrics making up the garment that's in question. So we have fabric A listed on line one, and let's say that it's $10 a yard, and every single garment that you make uses 1 yard of fabric on average. Now this gets a little bit tricky because you do have a size split, right? You make all the way from maybe extra small to extra large garments. What you're asking your factory to do when they're determining your yield per unit is to give you an average. So if your medium size actually uses a 1 yard, but your extra small only uses 3/4 of a yard, but your extra large uses 1 1/4 yard. What you're asking them to do is give you that average. So they need to be on the hook for figuring that out for you. They're the ones usually who are creating the pattern markers where all of your pattern pieces are laid out and made to kind of fit so that when they're cut, whether it's like 1 by 1 or whether it's sheet by sheet or whether it's on stacks of fabric and they're cutting all of that at once, your marker lays out your pattern so that there's the least amount of waste possible because they are creating your marker usually. Now, you might have given them a pattern, like a pattern for not just your base size, but you might have even graded that out. So you've even given them like a graded nest pattern. And what is that? I'm doing a lot of little like definitions today, so bear with me. A graded nest pattern means that all of the different sizes are kind of nested together in your pattern file. You can kind of see them laid on top of each other, which means you can see how the pattern changes from size to size to size. So you can make sure that like on a pant, your outseam shape is actually similar. It's going to get a little bit different, right? We're going to see smaller shapes as the smaller that we go in our sizes. But we're going to see a similar shape on our outseam, but we might see a slightly different curve shape for our rise, all the way from extra large down to extra small. And as a pattern maker, you kind of recognize how those shapes should differ. You recognize what a good graded nest pattern looks like versus not. And if you're using a pattern maker or you're doing your own pattern making, you might actually provide this file to the factory. But rarely, I have almost never seen a factory want you to provide a marker to them. So that's the next step, right? You've totally created the full pattern. You've vetted out the base size, maybe that's your medium, and then you've graded out the pattern and you've sent them a graded nest. They're going to break that graded nest all apart. And again, they're going to lay it out on like an image of what your fabric looks like. So if your fabric, you bought, a 50-yard roll that is 60 inches wide, they're going to lay out all of your pattern pieces with all of your different sizes to make sure that it fits on a 60-inch wide roll and how much can they cut per yard. So that's what's going to then be transferred on average to your cost breakdown sheet for fabric A. When I set out my marker and I determine how much fabric is going to be used on average for fabric A, it is 1 yard. Because that fabric was $10 a yard, now the total line item comes to $10. Fabric B. You started your apparel brand a few years ago with a vision. And maybe you've thought to yourself, I should be able to figure this out on my own, right? Or maybe you've been searching for a quick fix, like a new manufacturer, believing that's the missing piece. But what if the real problem isn't your manufacturer? What if the secret to scaling isn't doing more, but doing it differently? What if you could stop wasting money on the wrong things and avoid costly mistakes? What if you could gain insider knowledge and community support from a team that has over 70 years of combined experience working for the hugest brands on the planet? Introducing my Masterclass, Secrets Behind Billion-Dollar Apparel Brands. This Masterclass is for you if you're ready to stop feeling stuck, frustrated, and insecure. It's time to stop putting out fires and start building a profitable, fulfilling brand that can stand the test of time. Join me and learn the real talk, transparent mentorship that the industry doesn't offer. Discover how to create a brand that works for you, not the other way around. Go to thebusinessofapparel.com/secrets and sign up today. $10. Fabric B might have also been $10 a yard, but I'm only using half a yard per unit on average. So now that comes to $15 total. I have a center back neck label, which costs 5 cents. So now I'm at $15.05, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you use zippers, if you use buttons, if you use any kind of trim that you want to use, all of your labeling, all of your packaging should also go on here. So if a poly bag costs 10 cents, that's adding 10 cents to the unit price on your cost breakdown sheet. Now, here's the tricky part. This is why a lot of manufacturers and vendors don't love doing cost breakdown sheets. The next part, usually listed at the bottom, is where you are going to see their profit and overhead. Now, most factories will not break all the nitty gritty out for you. Most of them will not say, it took us, 20 minutes to sew per unit, and we're paying our factory workers, $10 an hour or whatever it is. They're not usually going to break it down for you like that. That's a little bit too much transparency. They have to run a business too, though. So I want you to understand that overhead, so the light bulbs that they require to keep the lights on in their factory, the sewing machine maintenance, the cleaners to clean the floors, everything that's overhead at their company, plus the profit that they want to make as a business to sew those garments for you, usually will be listed then at the bottom of your cost breakdown sheet. So you can see in comparison to my materials, to my trims, and then my overhead and profit to the factory, this is going to be my total cost. Now, a couple of general rules of thumb here that I like to kind of send out into the world. Number one, you can usually break this down into thirds. So if your fabric costs about a third of the total unit price, all of your trims and packaging and labels, but add all of those together, that should be at about a third of your price. And then the overhead and profit for your factory should be around that last third or less. And that's a great thing for you to be able to negotiate if you are getting cost breakdown sheets and you're noticing that their profit is starting to creep above that 33% mark. If they're charging you half of the unit price to actually make a garment for you, you might be able to negotiate that down and get quite a bit of money back on all of the units that you're buying. That is really, really important, because even $1 saved on a 1,000 unit order is $1,000 saved. That can really, really help you down the line, right? Now, a couple of other things here. If you have a really expensive fabric and your fabric story is everything about your garment, you might want that to be more than a third of your garment price. And so now maybe you need to bring your trims and packaging costs down. Maybe you really need to simplify that piece of it. But that is really good practice. So if you are not using a cost breakdown sheet and you haven't had a chance to kind of have this conversation with your factory, I really encourage you to do so, because what you can start to recognize then as you have more and more styles with this factory is, are things fair across these cost breakdown sheets? This used to be one of my jobs when I was at Pearl Zumi. I would spend days and hours just combing through cost breakdown sheets, going line by line, saying, okay, this cycling jersey is identical to this cycling jersey, except for the fabrics, right? We have just a different type of fabric, but the fit is exactly the same. The seaming is exactly the same. All of the trims and details are exactly the same. So I'm sitting down with these 2 cost breakdown sheets on my handy dandy little pen, and I'm going through to make sure, do the yields match each other? If one yield is actually more or less than the other, that's a red flag. That's something I can ask my factory about and ask if we can make sure that the yields are correct on these cost breakdown sheets. Now, when you do that, you do need to be prepared that your factory might say, oh, over here I listed that the yardage is 1 per unit, and over here I listed that it's 3/4 of a yard per unit. It's actually 1 per unit on both of these. So you have to be kind of careful that if you are asking for comparisons in those kinds of situations, they might actually say that this one should actually be more expensive. It's actually going to cost you more. And that could absolutely be true. What you are looking for is consistency. You're looking for fairness in your pricing. The other thing that you can do when you receive cost breakdown sheets, especially if you are nominating fabrics and trims from a mill that you work with or a trim supplier that you work with, is you can go back to them and say, hey, I'm getting my cost breakdown sheets and it is telling me that this fabric costs $10 a yard. When you and I spoke, though, you told me it was only going to be $9 a yard. Which is correct? Are you selling it to them for $9 a yard or $10 a yard? And if they're selling it to the factory for $9 a yard, now that's more ammo for you to go back to the factory and say, hey, you've listed this fabric at $10 a yard. I know for a fact it's only $9 a yard. Can we please make this adjustment? Those are the types of fact and logic-based negotiations that you get to now start to have with your factory because you have it on paper and you have the proof and you have the logic and you've taken the time to go through it line by line to know whether that cost breakdown sheet is accurate. The more and more comfortable that you become with these two, you will also become really good at recognizing whether prices look fair or not, especially when it comes to overhead and profit. So again, if it's just not even coming down to percentages and you're starting to notice that, okay, these 2 jerseys are identical to each other, but you're charging me overhead and profit $20 on this one and you're charging me $15 on this other one. What makes jersey A $5 more to make than jersey B? Other than the fabric, they're exactly the same. The sewing time, the make time, the sewing machines that are being set up, none of that should be different. You can see how much power this gives you. So as you are evaluating your cost of goods sold at this level, a cost breakdown sheet can be an amazing tool for you to use. Now, if you are looking for more information like this, more tutorials, more advice, more help, more of a board of advisories to come in and help you understand these types of things for your brand, I want you to check out thebusinessofapparel.com/join. The Apparel Founders Board is where we are helping you on a one-on-one basis. You get direct access to me and my entire team, not just me, but you do get my 25 plus years of experience in so many different roles to come in. We are advising you on a regular basis. You get 24/7 access to our community forum where you can ask us questions about anything and everything going on in your fashion business. We want you to come join the board so that we can help you grow and scale your business faster and easier. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I will see you next Monday for another episode of Money Mondays.